Welcome to From the Dashboard. I'm Corey. I'm here at Audi Tysons Corner and we're going to visit the parts department. Hello everyone. I'm here with Henry from Audi Tysons Corner. Hello Henry.
Hey, how's it going, Corey?
Good. So what's in store for us today?
Man, today we're going to be looking at the parts department and just going over what kind of things we do and what type of work we're doing at the parts counter and at the back counter. And there'll be a surprise at the end for you guys. We do a little bit of heavy lifting around here.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's get to it.
All right, let me take you guys to the back of our parts department. We have a lot of shelves back here with a lot of parts. Our first section of parts are all labeled up here. We have sections. So this whole section is called 1CO2. So whenever you sell something or are looking for something, every part will have a location within the computer system. So you'll come here and look for stuff. So if you're looking for a 4MO 819 439 C as in Charlie, that would be a cabin filter. This is a very common part where we replace about every 20 to 40,000 miles on cars. And we tend to keep a lot of fast moving parts in the lower section. That way we're not going upstairs because we have an upstairs section as well. So I'll show you around. These are all our rotors and filters. And I want to show you our back counter section because this section over here is where all the magic happens. These two machines are called rim stars, and pretty much they store a lot of our miscellaneous parts. So instead of having a huge row of parts with hallways and bins we have to go through, this organizes all of our parts into smaller bins, and it's all run by our computer here. So I'll show you guys what it looks like when you want to pull apart. All right, so I'll show you guys how the rim star works. You want to type in your part number, including the dashes. It's very important, or else it won't pick up the part rate. And you'll type in the part number, and then you'll put the quantity of how many you would like. So just for today, I'll just be pulling one drain plug. You hit enter and enter again, and that'll process. And the rim star will start moving. And on this screen right here, it'll show you the tray that it's gonna pop into. So it'll be row level 27, and it should be in the row 59. And the depth is 3, so you're gonna count 3 to find the part you want. So it's gonna stop at level 27, there it goes. And then now we know it's ready for picking, now that we have the part number on the screen. So we're gonna be looking for the light. The red light is over here at 59. And we'll just take it out. And then we go to our depth 3, 1, 2, 3. And then that'll be the drain plug you're looking for. So it's really simple to pull parts for a lot of jobs. A lot of nuts and bolts get stored in here, and a lot of smaller engine parts. It really helps keeping everything organized and efficient because we can pull a lot of parts in a short amount of time without opening a bunch of drawers like some other dealerships don't have this, so it makes it a lot easier. All right, welcome to our back counter section. So many people don't know about this very secret place, but pretty much whenever you bring your car into service, these will be the guys who are going to be pulling all the parts for your services and giving it to the technicians. So all the technicians work out here, so they will be pulling all the parts. Everyone's gone home for right now, but tomorrow morning it'll be a full house and they'll be asking for parts for oil changes and such. So we like to keep everything very close by for these guys because it makes them more efficient and keeps them from walking up the stairs constantly. So we like to keep a lot of filters and coolant in stock. All of our coolant is 50-50. So if you ever buy coolant from us, it already comes pre-mixed. You don't have to do anything to it, which is really great. We keep all of our oil filters in close proximity. So whenever we need a oil filter, just grab it off the shelf and it's good to go. Drain plugs and spark plugs all go in here, and key batteries. And This is my favorite section because I organize it. It's my wiper blade section, so
So you take.
I take pride when it comes to my wiper blades. I make sure your wiper blades are stocked, so I like to put everything in order and label everything because it makes it a lot easier to find. This is also part of the back counter's responsibility and job is pumping oil. So these little calculator looking things send oil to technicians. So we'll get a call. Maybe he's working on a Q5, maybe he needs 6 quarts. So you put in 6 quarts and then you can send 6 quarts of either 5W40 or 020 depending on what model year it is. So it's a really cool system. All right, welcome upstairs. This is pretty much our Audi tire center. We have over like 200 tires here, I think. So whenever you need a tire for your car, we should have it. But even if we don't, we get daily deliveries. So as long as we order before our cutoff time of 11, we receive tires the same day. And we tend to stock a lot of tires, as you can see. So Audi will send us tires for a lot of the cars that they're selling. So they keep us up with the latest and the greatest. So anywhere from Pirelli, Continental, Michelin, all these tires are Audi approved and they're specifically made for each Audi individually.
So how many times do you get the forklift?
We at least operate the forklift, I would say 1 to 2 times a day. It would be anything from carrying engines to transmissions or just taking body parts down to our body shop, Tysons Corner Collision. We take all our orders down there to them for cars that have been in accidents. So they order the parts from us and then we'll deliver them whenever we receive them. So right now we're gonna grab a e-tron battery for a customer car that needs replacing. So we're gonna grab that so the technician can start doing the work under warranty.
Okay.
This is our forklift. It's a very nice piece of machinery, but also capable of dangerous stuff. So you must operate carefully. So we're always gonna wear a seatbelt when we're operating the forklift.
Now, do you typically get the forklift daily, or is it just kind of at the request?
So it's almost at the request, but most of our employees at the parts department are certified for forklift use. So only people who have done the test and are certified can operate the forklift.
Okay.
So I'm just one of the guys that can do it, but we have about 2 or 3 more guys that can also use it. So it just depends on who needs help at what time, and if you're available, then you just grab the forklift key and then get going.
Okay, nice.
And it's not too difficult to operate. It's got very simple controls. So we go up and down, and we also have our tilt controls, and we have our side to side. So whenever you need to maneuver something, the controls are all right here. And we have our brake and gas like you would in a normal car. And obviously you hear the alarm beeping, so that just alarms people, make sure they can hear you when you're coming.
Okay.
What's up, brother? So just open the double doors just so we'd be able to get this battery out. It's pretty wide, so we don't have that much room in one door, so open both. And And we'll just get it as close as we can. And then we'll pick it up with the forks. All right, we have our battery secured. Whenever you're operating a forklift, you want to make sure your load is evenly spread out on the forks. And it's recommended to reverse whenever you have a heavy object. So that's what we're gonna do now, because if you go straight and you hit the brakes, you have a potential sliding factor. So you do not want to lose what you're carrying, especially when it's a battery. So it can be a very dangerous, lithium ion can be very dangerous. So we want to make sure we take every precaution. Once you make it down the hill, then you can resume and drive forward like normal. All right, so we are dropping off this battery. It's actually going to a hybrid vehicle. We have a Q5 hybrid that needs a battery replacement. So I'm gonna drop this here for the technician and we'll be out of here. Then you just want to park the forklift back and make sure the forks are back down. And that'll just keep it from potentially slipping away even with the handbrake on. We're going to put the brake on and turn off the motor, and then that's secured. So forks down whenever you park your forklift, and that'll avoid any damage, or if the brake fails, you have some kind of fail safe. So
Awesome.
yeah. All right, so this is the back of our parts department. These double doors are the entrance to our garage space. So here every morning around 5 or 6 in the morning, we get a delivery from our warehouse. Our local warehouse is located in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they send all our parts. So stock orders or any special orders that customers order, they'll all be delivered inside this area.
And how long does it take usually to place an order from it to get to Tysons here from Knoxville?
So if I'm not mistaken, it's about a 8-hour drive. So for the truck driver to get here, but for us to place an order, as long as it's placed before 1 p.m., that's our cutoff time. So if you need something tomorrow, you'd have to call us before 1. That's if our Knoxville warehouse has it. There are several other PDCs that have parts in stock. So they have different ETAs. So if it comes from any warehouse that's located in New Jersey or Texas, it's gonna add an extra day of shipping. So they'll get it to the warehouse in Knoxville and then they'll distribute it to us. So it just depends where parts are coming from. Anything that comes West Coast is gonna take a week for us to receive it here. Okay. That's just because of the length. But the good thing for the customers, they don't get charged any shipping. So anything that comes farther away, you won't be charged for any additional costs, unless you need to expedite something, and then we can provide a price if you need something super quick.
And does most of the parts reside in Knoxville, or do you have to go to the West Coast or other places kind of frequently?
So they do a pretty good job of stocking typical stuff. So, you know, your air filters, spark plugs, just common things that you would need for a car. Um, they'll have it in Knoxville. They try to stock most of the parts. You'll have odd special order parts like interior stuff or maybe some kind of body work parts that you'll have to get from somewhere else. But the Audi facilities do a good job of stocking their warehouses, so usually we can get orders the next day.
So Henry, is it safe to say that um, people that have cars from other manufacturers come to Audi parts to use your parts or order parts?
Yeah, it's very possible, especially when people are working on their own cars or they're down the street at like Volkswagen or something and they're looking for maybe like a spark plug or a belt. These all the parts have part numbers on them, so sometimes in the case like of a A3, it's pretty similar to like a Volkswagen Jetta because we're all part of the Volkswagen family. So sometimes they share parts, and if you have a part number, we can definitely run it in our system to see if we have it in stock, and you can pick it up from us. It'll work on your vehicle as long as you get it checked out first. So I can show them where the parts.
Okay.
So every morning we'll receive a cage like this, and it's full of parts. Right now it isn't because we just sending it back. We send back the cage and the totes every day, but these totes will be filled with parts, and we'll sometimes receive boxes full of parts that can't fit in here. So anything from bumpers to like spoilers and stuff like that. So that is what they ship them in, and we send them back to them so they can reuse them and helps the environment because they don't have to waste so much material. We also have our core battery section. So whenever you go to the dealership, they have a special pile of old batteries. We call them cores. And pretty much a core battery just gets sent back to our battery company, and they're able to break them down so that way they can be recycled. So if you ever see a cord charge, that's the reason why, because we have to send back a battery or else they get charged. So always bring back your batteries to the parts department you bought it from. Still on our catalog, so we can see we still have the SQ5 open. So if we were to type this in again, we're gonna have our model, our date of production, model year, and then we even have the engine code and transmission code. So that's important, especially for the technicians when deciphering repairs and stuff, and that helps us get the right parts as well. Down here we'll have the paint code. So if you're working at a body shop or you're trying to get something painted on your car, this would be the three-digit code that you use when deciphering what paint color. So right now we're looking at X5R, which I believe should be a Navarro blue. It's a really nice color. We also have more information about this car. So this will have pretty much everything the car is equipped with. So these are all called PR codes. So those are the codes that come from the factory, which tell them what kind of things this car comes equipped with. So that also helps when deciphering parts. When it comes to this model year of Q5, you can know that you're looking at a Q5 from 2017 up to should be 22 or 23. The first three letters of this part number right here, 80A, that's going to be the model of the car. So 80A, that's going to be signifying a Q5. And I'll show you a different vehicle. Just open up a random one right here. So we have a Q3 here. So with this model from 2015 up to, I believe, 2018, should come up as a 8U0. See if I'm right here. Let's look at this door. And there you go, 8U0. Continue to the next part of the part number. You'll have the catalog number. So 831. If you look at the left side, that is going to match up with the catalog illustration. So if you were to find a part number off of your car and maybe you're missing the first three letters, you will be able to look up in that catalog maybe the 831 or a 945 or something similar to it, to like a 121, and that'll come up with the sections of the catalog. So if it's a 121 number, you put 1 for engine, and then 21 would be water cooling related. So you can fold that up, and then you kind of come to a more detailed look of what possibly that part could be. But usually we can use part numbers to help guide us within the catalog, so it kind of narrows down the search when someone's looking for something. And all these pictures, Audi does a really great picture diagram, so it really makes it easier for customers and technicians to find what they're looking for. And the catalog is great because they also have additional info. So if you're looking at this manifold, it also tells you what parts to replace when you're doing this manifold job. So you can see it's recommended to replace the studs and the nuts. So once you get into bigger jobs that require more parts, it really helps because it gives you a whole list of parts you should be replacing. Even though they're the small gaskets and O-rings, it's really important to get that changed over because you don't want any future leaks or any other problems just due to a small, like, little rubber piece not being replaced. It saves a lot of hassle down the road. Our parts get checked in by us, either me or Jose, who sits over here. And usually we're done checking in parts by like 9 in the morning. So if you order something, it should be ready for pickup by like 9 in the morning the next day.
Okay. All right. So what are a couple of the parts that are often mistakenly ordered?
So when it comes to mistaken ordered parts, I would say it would be if you're ordering something like a body related or some kind of trim piece. Because when it comes to deciding if it's left or right, some people will take that as my left and their right. But the way the catalog works is you have driver's side and passenger side. So whenever you order something, you have to look at the perspective. You're sitting in the driver's seat, so it's either your driver's side or your passenger side. So sometimes if you order the wrong side, you could say left, but you order the right side. So it kind of gets complicated. So whenever we ask somebody, which side they need, we just tell them driver's side or passenger side, just to make sure we get the right part.
Do they at least have the VIN to give you? Because like how is there like a level where you have to like kind of confirm it's the right vehicle? Because I imagine if someone that doesn't know much and said that they want, I don't know, what's a good part? A knob replacement.
Right.
Right. And they may not know, they just may say 2018 Audi A5.
Yeah, so it's really easy to get into the habit of just saying a year and model because it's very easy to look it up online, like if you're on eBay or something like that.
Right.
But the way the catalog works, specifically on the Audi catalog, our catalog is called EDCA, and we have to insert a VIN number at the top left. So that'll decode what kind of car we're working on. So right now I have pulled up an SQ5, and once we have that pulled up, it's only going to give me parts that fit this VIN number.
Right.
So we can look at the knob by searching knob, and then you can look at all the different types of related keywords. So we just want to find the right picture, which should be over here. And that should be the knob.
Wow.
So whenever you see anything that's kind of like grayed out, grayish color, that part number is not going to work for this car. So they make it really easy to minimize and just focus on the parts that will fit. So you just click that compress, and then you'll see that that would be the part you'd be looking for. And you'll see that number 16 is that knob right there. So that's the part number, and that's how you would look it up. So it's really important to have the VIN number, especially at an Audi dealership, because we need to get the right part number, and we can't look up year and model, unfortunately.
Okay. what is the benefit of someone choosing an OEM part opposed to an aftermarket part? And have you like ran across like any customers that screwed up with the aftermarket part and now they're trying to correct it with the OEM part?
Right. You can get a lot cheaper parts sometimes that are aftermarket, but when you go get the original Audi part, it's gonna fit 100% just
Right.
like it did when you got it from the factory.
Right.
It's the same quality that they're using, and you get a guaranteed warranty up to a year. So if anything happens, they guarantee the part. Um, with aftermarket parts, they'll usually be off in some kind of way because they're not be able to copy it 100% the way Audi makes the parts.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes we see people try to get like an aftermarket windshield, which is a very sensitive thing for the car because
Right.
you can fit them onto the car, but then you have problems when it comes to your lane assist and driver assistance.
Yeah, and I mean
'Cause-
they have to be recalibrated.
right, everything has to be
Oh my
recalibrated.
gosh.
So if you don't have the right glass, we're already starting on the wrong foot. So that's a big, issue that people can have, or maybe just trying to get like a cheaper gas cap, because you got to get the right gas cap that'll fit your car, or else that's gonna throw up a check engine light code, and you don't want to do that. So
Right. And now you're
sometimes,
bringing it in. You're paying the technicians like 150. I don't know the hourly rate, but you're
right,
paying them at least an hour just to
right,
tell you that you got a, a cheap gas
yeah,
cap.
it can happen. Sometimes you want to use aftermarket parts, and they might work maybe for a few months, but when you buy an original Audi part, you're guaranteeing the car's gonna be running for a long
Right.
time.
Plus, like you said, it has like a year warranty.
Yeah, so it comes with benefits. Also, Audi does a really good job with their quality control, so we rarely have to do any kind of warranties, but it happens sometimes,
Hmm.
but rarely we have to do it multiple times for the same car. So they do a really good job of testing parts. That's actually part of their system. Whenever they manufacture parts, they have to test them. So they have to
Okay.
go through checks marks, and a bunch of boxes have to be checked off before they be able to sell them to us. So.
Okay. All right. So, what are some of the performance parts that people like to come in and enhance their Audi with?
So I would say on our accessories website, if you check that out and put your year and model, on that website you can put your year and model.
Hmm.
You'll see all the options that you can put on your car. When it comes to any like of the S models, usually they have like some kind of a exhaust system upgrade. So if
Okay.
you want a louder, experience with your exhaust, they do sell like the resonator, so you can make that, kind of growl up a little bit better.
Okay.
Sound.
Do you have a lot of people come and get winter tires, or you don't really see that transition?
So we're really big on recommending all-season tires
Okay.
for this area.
Okay. Yeah.
We do have customers who enjoy having both winter and summer setups, so
Right.
we can do that also. Have like a summer set and then
Yeah.
change them out to a winter set once the weather starts turning.
Right.
So that's also recommended. Summer tires in this area is great, obviously during the fall and summertime, but
Mhm.
once you get to winter, you definitely want to switch those out.
Yeah. Okay. Are there certain models that have common problems that you kind of see a cycle of? Like, for instance, and I'm just making this up, 2021 A6 handles are kind of flaky, or something along those lines. Is there like, and it may not be, it could be from 2015 or some of the older models that you start to see.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Audi, I think we can be known for the water pump thermostats.
Okay.
Uh, and then I'd say maybe with the older cars, probably going back to like the timing of the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I would say the only problems, I guess you could call them a problem, but it's mostly a recall now, is the alternator recall.
Okay.
But they just changed out the alternator because they were having, the earlier models were just dying out of nowhere, but
Okay.
now they just changed them so that way you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Okay. What are some of the accessories that Audi recommends that owners should have?
Uh, Working with customers, I think sometimes people don't know the use of their base carrier bars. So a lot of the cars will come equipped with them in your trunk, and they're pretty easy to throw on top of your roof. So if you're doing any bicycling, or you want to go skiing or surfing or snowboarding,
Mhm.
you can purchase an attachment that'll go to the base carrier bars, and then you can secure your stuff on top. Or you can even do a storage bin and have that storage bin when you're traveling and you want to fit more stuff that you can't fit inside the car in the back.
Mm.
I would also say a lot of people like getting the organizers that go in the trunk. That helps so your stuff is not sliding,
That is
everywhere.
nice.
Yeah, it's a really good thing to have, and obviously, having floor mats is really important.
Mhm.
It really helps keeping the dirt outside the carpet and keeping the car clean.
Mhm.
So those are really nice things. And if you want to add like a nice touch, if you don't have the puddle lights, Audi has different kinds of designs from the rings to a little gecko,
Mhm.
quattro. So you can add something special whenever you open your doors.
Now, do you know if that can be added to cars that don't have puddle lights already?
Yes, so
Okay.
you can add that onto your car. To pretty much any model, it should be available.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of puddle lights.
They look nice.
Yeah, they do. They do. Thank you all for watching. I want to give a massive thank you to Henry and Sam from Audi Tysons Corner. Thank you so much for giving us behind the scenes, and be on the lookout for our next video.